Donald Trump really set the cat among the pigeons when he said that he was considering a third term for himself. In an interview with NBC, he said that he wasn't joking when he was talking about a possible third term. Of course, everybody started reacting to that story, and soon enough, Donald Trump changed his views somewhat. He said it was too early in his second term. There was a lot of work to do. In fact, there were 4 full years of work to do, and it was still early days to talk about it. Then again, in another interview, he said there was a possibility of doing this. Now, why is this important, and can Donald Trump actually stand for elections for a third term in office? Now, there is a limitation in the US Constitution, and a president cannot have more than 2 terms, whether it's consecutive or non-consecutive. In Donald Trump's case, it would be a non-consecutive election because he was the 45th president, now he's the 47th president. He is already in his second term. Now, what comes in the way of Donald Trump's plans for a third term is the 22nd Amendment made to the US Constitution. Now, the 22nd Amendment limits the terms of presidents to just 2 terms. Now, Donald Trump is saying, now there is a possibility. Of course, in theory, there is a possibility because a constitutional amendment can make that change possible. But it's really difficult to go about doing it. And why is that? Because a constitutional amendment requires 2/3 majority in both the houses. Now, we know that Donald Trump won the popular vote. He won the Senate. He won the House of Representatives. But in all of these, so both the houses, in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, Republicans have a very thin majority. And even to propose such a constitutional amendment, you need 2/3 majority of the House to agree to that, which means right now Republicans do not have that 2/3 majority for even a proposal to go through. The other possibility is for state legislatures, again with 2/3 majority, to propose something like this to actually happen. Then that's just the proposal part of it. If it goes through, and that is a big if, the next stage is actually passing this legislation, and that at the state legislature level requires 3/4 of a majority, and Republicans right now have nowhere close to that. So sure, Donald Trump can talk about a possible third term. In fact, he's also talked about this being his third term already because he says the 2020 election was stolen from him. However, for him to actually be eligible for a third term is a very, very distant possibility. Remember, he's already going to be the oldest serving president of the United States when he finishes his second term. He's already 78 years old. Was there any other president in the United States who had served more than 2 terms? Yes. Franklin D. Roosevelt had more than 2 terms. In fact, he had 4 terms as president, and he died while he was in office. But at that time, there was so much of power concentrated in Roosevelt himself that it was one of the major reasons why the 22nd Amendment was brought forth. So clearly, though Donald Trump may have plans and his office keeps denying it, and then they go round in circles with many versions of it, it is easier said than done. For more such videos, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button and follow for more stories.